Hey everybody, Knick-Knack here, back again for another video. First off, I'd like to say I finally have some free time because I'm done with finals for this semester. So most likely, I'm going to try and make more videos on this channel. And videos that aren't pickup videos because, of course, for these last few videos on this channel, it's been nothing but pickups. So I'm going to try and make some more countdowns, probably a review, and a gaming goals video. If I have the time, and if I have the energy. Because right now I'm pretty fucking sick. So that might take a while. But anyway, speaking of this being nothing but pickups on my channel, I decided to do something different for this video. As you see on the title down below, this is going to be my PC gaming collection. I mean my PC game collection, but my physical games. Over here on my side is a fair share of PC games, but half of them are from packs, like an EA War pack, or the Elder Scrolls plus its expansions, and a Star Wars one. And when I was a kid, I thought that was a good deal, so I decided to get them. And on top of that, most of these tend to be old, maybe 10 or 12 years ago. That's because, thanks to Steam and GOG, I don't really, of course, have any use of buying more physical PC games. But without further ado, let's get on with the collection. First off, I wanted to talk about the physical PC games I got from this EA War collection. It's a whole bunch of EA first-person shooters that were exclusive on the PC. Starting off, we got Battlefield 1942, Disc 1, Disc 2, and the Road to Rome expansion pack. I decided to get these, of course, other than being a great collection for a good deal, this was the biggest reason on me wanting to get the collection. Mainly because growing up, watching G4, they talked about how great the Battlefield 1942 games were. This got nominated for a Game of the Year award from them. And I think an award show called the Game Developers Choice Awards decided to give them Game of the Year and a whole bunch of Game of the Year awards for this game. And considering I bought into hype, I decided to get it. And as for the game itself, it's a really nice game from what I played of it. But however, because my computer back then was kind of I kind of had trouble playing it. But for the most part, it was a really fun game. I liked the combat, I liked the setting. If I'm not mistaken, I think this was the first FPS that consisted of you just taking over bases and then advancing, and whoever took the most bases or had the most kills from this bar or health bar system won. And I really enjoyed that. I thought it was something different compared to a standard deathmatch mode or capture a flag I've seen. But anyway, great combat, great classes. Battlefield 1942. Mostly anybody who grew up playing PC or FPSs back then most likely enjoyed that game. Next game from the EA War Pack was Medal of Honor Allied Assault, Disc 1 and Disc 2. I unfortunately haven't played the online for this game because I believe the servers were shut down. Either that or my computer was unable to play online against people and their servers and whatnot. But I played the campaign and the campaign was one of the best campaigns I've played in an FPS. I really liked the setting, I really liked the pacing, combat was nice. Speaking of setting, it was great because it went from you infiltrating the German headquarters to going to D-Day to just storming around other countries or cities, and the destruction of the cities looked really nice. Weapons were really nice too, and yeah, Medal of Honor like Assault. Back when Medal of Honor was actually a great game, or series in general. Speaking of Medal of Honor, next game is Medal of Honor Pacific Assault. Disc 1, Disc 2, Disc 3, Disc 4. I unfortunately have not played this yet because I lost the CD key. But considering Allied Assault takes place in Europe and this takes place in the Pacific, most likely it's going to be the same game, different setting, and I'm going to enjoy it a ton. And last but not least in the EA War Chest or War Game Collection, Battlefield Vietnam Redux, Disc 1, Disc 2, Disc 3, and bonus disc. Now, I remember playing a ton of hours into this game. Yeah. And I really enjoyed it. Mainly I just played against bots and AI, but it was a fun experience nonetheless. I remember playing as well as against a couple other people online and sucking at it. But as for the game itself, it's like the gameplay wise is kind of like Battlefield 1942 in the sense that you have to take over bases as well as try and wipe the enemies out. They're like counter on the top out. Yeah, sorry, pretty sick right now. But the gameplay was much more improved. Graphics also were nice. The weapons and the classes were nice as well. But I think the one thing that made me love this game a ton was the soundtrack. Because this game right here got me into bands like Jefferson Airplane and Deep Purple. And on top of that, I also found out about the original I Fought the Law that the Clash covered and the song War. Like I knew War from the Rush Hour movies, but I sung it mistakenly, and thanks to this game right here, I finally knew about it. But anyway, Battlefield Vietnam Redux. I think this is just kind of like a spin-off or a condensed spin-off version, but either way, it was really nice when playing it growing up. Okay, now that I'm a bit sick right now, so I'm gonna have to transition right now to talk about the next games. Okay, so I'm back, and the next game I'm going to show and talk about is probably my first Western RPG. Well, maybe second. I believe I got introduced to Western RPGs at first by either EverQuest or Diablo, like seeing somebody play it, but that's besides the point. Anyway, the game I'm going to be talking about next I'm going to show is The Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind and its expansions Blood Moon, Tribunal, and the construction set. Now I got this game because I remember Toonami doing a review on it, and probably I think they gave a perfect score. And on top of that, I knew a person in real life who talked so highly of Morrowind that I decided to get. Yeah, like my dad got when I was a kid. And unfortunately, because Morrowind was way too complex for me, and the fact that it's pretty much like free and you could do anything you want in that game, I pretty much played it wrong. All I just ever did was just run around, like kill people, put some cheat codes on, just explore the world around me, just kill enemies and what other creatures they had in this game, made my character look cool, all that stuff. Yeah. But despite me not playing it properly and using cheat codes, it was a really fun game for most part. Yeah. Most people have already played Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind because this is pretty much the Final Fantasy of the Elder Scrolls games, so I don't really have much more to say about the game. Also, the expansions were great as well, with the enemies, like that Dark Brotherhood guild, if I'm not mistaken it was called, they were great enemies, and the like werewolves, they were also great. That's all I could think of talking about this game because most people already played it. I'm sick, and yeah, a great Western RPG. Maybe if I'm lucky and actually have the time and beat a couple more other games, I'll finally play this game properly. Next game is Age of Empires Gold Edition. I unfortunately have not played this yet due to me being busy with other games, but I found this at a flea market and decided to pick it up because it was a good price, and I think it was like a kind of like Civilization or an RTS game, and because I like those games, I think I'm gonna enjoy this maybe, or either that or I'm gonna suck at it. Alright, the next few games I want to talk about are all from the same developer, and that's Blizzard. First game I want to talk about is quite possibly their biggest, most well-known game of all time because of how many players it had and how many hours I put into this and how addicted I was back then when I started high school. And that, of course, is World of Warcraft. Disc 1, Disc 2, Disc 3, Disc 4, Disc 5, and their expansions. World of Warcraft Disc 1, Disc 2, Disc 3, Disc 4, and yeah. What else is there to say about World of Warcraft, other than it's quite possibly the most addicting game you'll ever play, quite possibly the biggest MMO you'll ever play, and just everything about it is great. Just content it has is awesome. The classes are unique and nice. Each one is great. The combat, amazing. The communication or the interaction with people, great. The customization, or I think I said customization. Yeah, customization as well as the types of stuff you could do and the missions you take. Enemies are amazing as well. Story for an MMO was pretty decent. Can't really say much more about it other than it was a great game, and despite me pretty much dropping MMOs in general, I had a ton of fun with this game from what little I've played of it, or like what ton I've played of it. And do I regret those hours? Probably not. Yeah. Speaking of Warcraft, I also have had Warcraft 3 and the expansion like that Cold Blood something, but I don't know where it is. But I want to talk about those and say that it was fun for an RTS. I suck at them, however, because I just suck at RTSs in general. Next game I want to show is StarCraft 1. I unfortunately only played this with cheat codes, so I know for a fact that I suck at this game, but it was a great RTS for its time. Great classes, great units, great setting. Can't say much more about it, other than quite possibly one of the best RTSs ever, and I can see why Koreans are so addicted to it. And the last few games of the Blizzard collection I got is Diablos 1 and 2. I unfortunately have not played 2 yet. I only put a few minutes into Diablo 1, but from what little minutes I've played, it's really tough, but fun. And on top of that, the setting is nice, and considering that sporadic spacebar shouts to him, considers Diablo to be like one of his all-time favorite series, if I'm not mistaken. Him and Ultimate Void, I think, shout to him as well. I know for a fact I'm gonna enjoy these games, and once I do, I know for a fact that sooner or later I'm gonna pick up Diablo 3. Alright, so that was the Blizzard collection of games. Now on to a whole bunch of our random games. I'm going to transition right now because of my sickness. Yeah. Okay, so I'm back, and the next game in my collection is Overlord 2. Unfortunately, I haven't played this yet because I just didn't, and on top of that, I still haven't played Overlord 1 yet either. My brother was the one who got this because back then I think he got into Overlord games after playing Overlord 1's demo on the PSN, and because of that he decided to get this. From what little I know of Overlord, it looks like a pretty decent game. This one. Next game is Star Wars, the best of PC. This was a series I definitely enjoyed a ton growing up. Or like the games in general. Like this of course is a collection of Star Wars games, including Empire at War, Knights of the Old Republic, Battlefront, Star Wars Knight 2, Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast, and Republic Commando. Gonna talk a bit about each game from this collection. First game, Empire at War, was a great RTS or strategy game that I put a ton of time into, and it was a unique strategy game in RTS because it just didn't consist of you like building buildings and tongue tie here, like building buildings and creating units out of the buildings to fight the other enemies, but it consisted of you creating buildings to hire units, and then later on you have to find a certain spot to put the units in, and the units get transported from like a ship down to a spot. And on top of that, the buildings in general didn't get destroyed from what I remember. You just like destroy them and take them over till it turns into your specific color, and then you conquer that building, and that's how you win the game. It also had like space battles, which kind of had the same concept, but there were like no space, what's it called? Spaceships or space buildings. Yeah, I'm sorry that I pretty bad explained this. But that was nice. And on top of that, one of the best things that I loved about this game is it kind of like had a switch camera mode. So you could like switch it and just see the battles play throughout screen without like going to overhead view. Yeah, so you could just see how the characters were interacting or fighting each other in real time or something like that. But anyway, overall, despite me explaining it wonky or stupid, Empire at War is a great RTS or strategy game for Star Wars and the PC in general. Next game on this collection is Knights of the Old Republic. Can't really say much more about it other than it's a great RPG from what little I've played. Unfortunately, my computer was unable to run Knights of the Old Republic, so I only played a little of it, fortunately somewhere, somehow, but it was really great. The dialogue was great, character interactions were great, combat was great, world was great. Can't really say much more. Star Wars Battlefront was like Battlefield, but for Star Wars. And yeah, you can pretty much know how that turned out. Yeah, because Star Wars Battlefront, the newest one made by EA, pretty funny. And yeah, but Star Wars Battlefront, the original, was great because, sorry about that, was great because it was like Battlefield, but more extreme or more sci-fi, or it was way better combat-wise. Yeah. Speaking of which, the creators of Battlefront are gone. Pandemic. Yeah, that sucks. Star Wars Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast. Haven't really played too much about it, but I remember seeing my brother play a bit of it, and it looked really nice. And the last game from this collection was Star Wars Republic Commando. A really great FPS that consisted of like you playing as a team of clone troopers and just going around destroying droids and these Geonosian or alien insect race in general. And yeah, on top of that, the weapons were really nice. The setting was really nice as well. Graphics were great. Think I said the weapons were nice. And the communication or the chemistry between the squad was really great for being a squad of clone troopers. Overall, that's all I have to say about this collection. It was a really great deal when I found it growing up, and when PC games, physical, were the shit. And the last PC game that I want to show is a game and its expansion packs. And that game is The Sims 2. Growing up with The Sims, I freaking loved this game in general. And Sims 2 was awesome. I loved it so much that I got a ton of expansion packs, including Sims 2 Open for Business, Sims 2 University, Sims 2 Pets, and Sims 2 Free Time. This should tell you how big I was into Sims 2 growing up. Anyway, talking about my history with The Sims, I remember a family friend having it, played it a bit, really enjoyed it a ton, to a point that I got the game on PS2. I don't know where it went, however, or I'm not sure if I let somebody borrow it and they never gave it back. But either way, I love Sims 2 on PS2, and because I put so much time into that game, I decided to get Sims 2 for the PC when it came out, as well as a whole bunch of its expansions, because the expansions were so great and the stuff that it had was amazing, including like Sims 2, like free time. This had like a whole bunch of hobbies you could do, including from car repair to exercise and cooking. Sims 2 Pets don't really have too much experience with, but it's nice. Sims 2 University, Sims go to college, and it also had the ability to like have this plant to increase their lifespan. The college room experience for The Sims was great, and it had an arcade machine you could buy. Sims 2 Open for Business, pretty much creating your own business, and it was decent. Sims 2 Nightlife had a bunch of other cool stuff as well. But either way, I love The Sims 2 so much. I remember playing a ton of hours to it, just doing nothing but living my life as a character I wish I could be. Like, that's the main reason why I love The Sims so much when I was younger, because it was a game where you could create a character and what you wish you could be. And yeah, it was just so addicting. Unfortunately, I didn't get The Sims 4 or any other Sims after it because it had no like single player or something like that. But most of you have played The Sims and know what these games are about. But anyway, this all right here is my physical PC game collection. Sorry that for this video I keep stuttering and just pausing. As you may of you know me, I'm pretty bad at talking in general, and I'm sick, so yeah. And again, as always, I want to thank you guys for watching. Take it easy, and until next video. Yeah. And also, of course, sorry that this video is maybe like 20 or 30 minutes long.